I was listening to Amy Porterfield, actually, her podcast. I love that. And you were on there. And it was the first time I was like, oh, wait a minute. This sounds like somebody I could work with. That's when I got a hold of you and we had our consult call.
Tell us your feelings of tech and how you've been working through this.
I tried to do it on my own before I contacted you, and I could waste hours trying to figure out one piece, how to connect it. I did Amy Porterfield's class, trying to watch her tech videos, and I just needed someone to walk me through it. And so, one of the first things you did is you walked me way back. I thought we were going to start with tech and how to do Zoom classes, but you just said, wait a minute, let's look at your paperwork. Like, we need to get you a good attorney to have all the correct papers that people need to sign before they see you. You need to put that online. You need to make sure that that's something that someone checks before they even see you. So that was the first step we got, a hurdle we got over was to get all of that, all the
systems,
the
the
legal
onboarding.
Yeah, the onboarding. And then you helped me look at my website and tell me what kind of the strengths and the weaknesses. And then you had some great ideas about how I could have consistent income with different revenue streams. At the time that I saw you, I was doing a lot of classes in person, which I thought was the way to build my business. That was one of my big pitfalls. And you took a look and you just said, that's one of the systems we need to really streamline, because if you're doing a lot of in-person classes, then people don't need to do virtual privates with you, and they don't need to do one-on-one privates with you because they're just going to come to 4 or 5 classes a week. So that's another piece of the tech that you had me add, is that people could do virtual privates with me online, which you helped me figure out the tech for that. And you'll tell me some ideas sometimes, and I think, oh, I'm not really sure that will work with my clientele. So I'll wait a week or so, and then I'll end up doing it out of sort of like frustration or desperation. I'll just, oh, fine, I'll do what Allison says. And sure enough, I get more clients. And then I'm like, oh my God, she knows what she's talking about. It's a running joke. Like, if I just listen to who I'm paying for.
That's funny.
Yeah. So it's been really good. Yeah.
Good.
So I feel like I'm steadily moving in the right direction. Like, every time we meet, you ask me what our wins are, and I can just see it's like slowly growing. And I'm feeling more confident just with the tech piece and the scheduling and the making the changes that I need to make, week to week to make it grow. So I'm excited about that. When I'm teaching a busy class and people come up to me afterwards, you've given me the confidence to say, that's a great question. Why don't we schedule a one-on-one and we can talk about it? Which I want you to in my head the whole time. I was like, oh my gosh, just say it. And the last couple times I've said it, people have scheduled no problem. So I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. So it's been good.
Good. I love that. And now you're teaching your own virtual workshops coming up.
Yes. You gave me the confidence to start doing workshops, because I was going to a lot of workshops, but I wanted to teach my own. So there were several times over the winter that I taught workshops with someone else. And then you gave me the confidence to be like, okay, so you don't need a lot of other people. Why don't you just try to do it by yourself? And then you don't have to split it with the yoga studio or split it with someone else. Like, feel confident to do it on your own. So this week on Thursday, I'm doing my own Somatics for Sleep workshop, and it's all going to be online. And you've encouraged me to do that. Over 20 people signed up.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Hoping all the tech pieces go well.
Yeah.
You're helping me problem solve if it doesn't, and what I need to do to get ready. So yeah.
You're so ready. They're going to love it. And also, in the beginning, when we first started working together, you'll be like, I have a workshop next week. I need to promote it. I'm like, wow, next week. If then you would fill it and it would sell.
Yeah.
And we would do it. And I was like, oh, she can totally do this on her own.
I'm getting more confident in that area. I used to be really nervous about just teaching people, standing up and everyone looking at me. And so for the last couple of years, I've gotten much more confident in that. You've really encouraged me that, like, this is the same. Like, I can do this. This venue is the same. Like, your teachings, people will be excited to come. So I'm hoping that goes well.
Yeah, it will.
What I really liked that you did is you really made me hone in on, what is my goal? What do I want to accomplish? The big thing about for me is it does not have to be perfect. And I just didn't have the confidence to just go try. And you said, the more you do it, the easier it will get. So putting myself out there, and you're right. If I put, especially with Instagram, you really encouraged me. It's growing, but you encouraged me to start putting more videos and talking to the screen and putting more exercises on there. And I would look at a video, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't like what I'm wearing. I'm not talking loud enough. And you're like, Betty, nobody cares. Just put it out there. Nobody cares. And you're great too, which I really like, is if I post something and I always tag you, and then you come back with me on the Slack channel and tell me, like, good job, that's look great, I would change this. You give me really practical advice. So it's helpful. It's like, when it's happening, you're giving me advice, like, okay, just make this little tweak. And my numbers are slowly growing. I think when I first started working with you, I had like 300 people on my email list and maybe 500 Instagram followers, and I've doubled those.
Yeah.
And that's continuing to grow. And you're helping me know how I'm supposed to encourage people to sign up for my email list and how get more followers. Like I didn't know that being tech challenged. Last week we looked at my slides and stuff. And again, they're not perfect. And you said, let's tweak them, make some changes. And even if I do it and it's not everything I want to say and not everything looks perfect on the slides and I'm no graphic designer, you're like, it's fine. That's not why people are coming. They're coming to learn the information, get the low hanging fruit about sleep and somatics and moving on from there. So I'm so grateful for that. Thank you.
Yeah. You're very welcome. And you're doing the work. Like you are doing the work.
Now I'm selling, thanks to you, audios on there. I'm also doing group classes virtually, in person, virtual, and one-on-one.
I love this because you'll come to the call and you're like, yeah, I woke up this morning to all these people getting all these audios.
It's so funny because I'll go, now that I know that everything's connected, I'll look, I'll be like, oh, what are all these? And it's people buying my audios. And it's not necessarily people who have ever come to my class. When I first started working with you, I would recognize some of the names who come to my classes. When they sell, it's usually not
They're
people.
strangers.
They're strangers. Yes. So slowly getting the word out. Well, it's so funny. I'll come to you and I'll be like, okay, I'm thinking of doing this, this, and this. And you're really good at being like, okay, so let's go back to what the main goal is. And what of those 10 things or 10 ideas you've come up with this week, which of those 10 will help us grow the main goal? So that's been good. Like you've narrowed me down. Like I just would have never guessed decrease the amount of classes. One thing you said right away is raise your prices. I was like, oh, no, I can't do that. It took you like a bit to talk me to that.
Tell them what you were charging and what you're charging.
So it's 125. Then you were like, it needs to be more. So then it was 150 consistently for an hour and a half session. And then you took a look at my numbers and you said, okay, we've got to go to 200. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not comfortable with that. So we took you a couple months and I swear the minute I raised it to 200, no one said a word. Nobody blinked. And you're like, well, we probably should have gone higher. I'm like, no, you're right. If people trust you, you're consistent, you're honest with people and you show up for them and you raise your prices. Cause I had the same price for probably 20 years.
Yeah.
So you were like, no, it's been much better, much smoother. And I'm just feeling it's easier to say what I want and what I have to offer to people, so learning the tech has been huge for me.
Yeah.
I have a friend who has started working with you. And so we had a conversation. I said, all you need to do is tell Allison your goal because your goal is different than mine. It's like, Allison will help you accomplish that. So I like how you tailor this. You give everyone a big menu and a big toolbox to pick from. And then you help me decide what tool to use. Me learning the tech piece of that was huge. So it's good how you tailor it.
Yeah, it is very individualized.
Right.
So it really depends on your
And
goal.
I travel a lot. My parents live out. I was just telling you before we got on, I just had to go unexpectedly out to see my family in Colorado because my parents were ill. So I was able to be like, oh, okay, that's fine. No class in person this week. And then I was able to move some people virtually and just being able to have that flexibility at this time of my life is huge because in the future, I would like to go more online so I can travel more. That is our goal. So you're helping me accomplish that.
Yes, you're getting there.
When I was working with you the first 6 months, I had a couple that I saw twice a week consistently in person. And so they were leaving for the winter. And I didn't even mention virtual because I was still in that mind frame of in person. I was like, okay, I'll see you next summer. And they're like, what? No. We're going to work with you virtually twice a week. I was like, before working with you, I wouldn't have even made that happen. And you were just like, let's set that up. And it's the little things too. I can't stress this enough because I've done those big Amy Porterfield and stuff like that. But sometimes I feel like there is this assumption that these really easy pieces of tech that people are like, just do this. You and me sharing the screen must have taken. But you help me. So
you can do it now.
I can do it. I can do all those little pieces that when I worked with other people, they just assumed everyone knew how to do it. And I'm like, I've been a hands-on manual therapist for a long time. So I didn't have those skills. And you are so patient with me. Oh my word. And another huge thing that you've been really good about teaching me is AI. I would struggle over newsletters and emails and making sure the copy was perfect. And you taught me how to use AI as a framework, get ideas, and then I can use my voice to change that or edit it. But I don't have to sit there for hours looking at a blank piece of paper, trying to figure out an outline what I'm going to do. You're like, oh, Betty, okay, sit down. That's been good too.
Yeah, I love that.
What you had said too is be really consistent about the schedule of post. I post on Sunday night, I'll post the story about what my schedule is for the week. And I look at my schedule online virtually, how many people are signed up before. Then I check again after I post. And I'm like, that just, the class is filled up. And then I'm like, oh, that darn Allison, she was right again. So that's been good because you're just telling me it's just out of sight, out of mind, you say. So if you're not posting and you're not reminding people what you have to offer, then they might just forget. You just need to give them a little push in the right direction, which now I feel confident doing.
Yeah, I love that.
I still struggle with getting as many posts out as I should, but I feel like after this next workshop with you, I think I'm going to be better at that.
Now I know my next phase with you.
Needs to be consistent.
Yeah, and your one-to-one practice in without you traveling is also filling up.
Yes, we have worked together on what my goal is, like knowing what is my comfortable number a day. Because what in the past, I would just keep saying yes until 10 people a day or 8 people a day. And I'd be
I'm like, when are you
exhausted.
meeting?
And another thing he said too is to schedule my business like Wednesday for 2 hours. It's booked in my schedule. Like I have to sit down. That's when I can do my posts, my emails, my newsletter, and you can batch them. You've been really good about teaching me how to batch so that they're there and they're done. And oh, another thing, I'm sorry to babble you on, but another thing, you're really good. I didn't realize that people were coming to my workshop and they were coming to my classes, but then I wasn't following up with them. And you set me down one day. Remember the time I got 100 emails on my email list in 1 week? You said, Betty, this week, I want you to sit down and every new person you've had in the last month who's come for a class or come to a workshop, I want you to add them to your email list. I'm like 100 new people. I just hadn't been doing it. And you've taught me how to automate that. And that's been great.
Yeah, look at all that you learned. You did all this.
I know. If you would have told me 8 months ago, I could do half the things I could do on my computer. I was shocked. But yeah, it's going well.
Yeah,
I
amazing.
know. I was thinking the other day, like, how long do people work with Allison? Will I be working with her forever? You're just keeping me on track. It's been
That's
great.
right. Yeah. My husband
Yeah.
always asks, he's like, when is this business coaching done? Because, I have my own coaches. I'm like, never.
Honestly, because you make me accountable. So I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know if I would give this up.
Here's what I tell him. I said, when do you want the revenue to stop?
It's so true. Oh my
That's
goodness.
nothing that'll stop.
Yeah. I'll be seeing you forever. So you've helped me. What's my goal for the next year? And that's what I'm hoping to accomplish financially and
Mm. 6
every way
figures
else.
a month? Oh, yeah. You totally doing this. And then also, I see for you too, with the demand and the momentum you have, like, and how fast you're growing on Instagram, we can grow that audience and you'll get a lot more purchase of your audios and on-demand
Yeah.
workshops. We got a whole
Yeah.
offer suite coming for you.
Yeah. That's what we're working on this summer. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's been a pleasure. I love it.